Y'all love when you do that.
Yeah, I fixed it.
Oh my God. Shit sounds crazy,
It's
son.
nice, right? It's nice.
That dumb out is like, dumb out, dumb out. That's punching the face music.
Yeah. Somebody might get punched in the face.
By accident.
By accident, just because. Yeah.
Like, yo, I'm sorry, son.
My bad. He said dumb out.
Uncle Rick, I didn't mean to punch
I didn't
in your
mean to
face.
do that, Uncle.
My bad.
I still love you, Uncle.
Yeah. DJ Shavi, what up?
What's good, man? How you feeling?
Yo, you came out on a Saturday, son.
Yeah, man. I'm beat too, bro. This rockstar lifestyle is crazy.
But you living it.
I'm trying, man. I'm getting old. Bro. I gotta leave the shit to JT and these little niggas, man.
You living it, baby.
Word.
You doing your thing, baby.
Word.
Owning studios.
You know? Businesses.
You about to go get up with Prince Marky D?
Yeah, a couple of weeks we be in Miami.
Nah, man.
Word, man. It's just...
Go catch that Corona?
Yeah. Shit. Fuck you, nigga.
He gonna go catch Corona, son.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna be quarantined with Marky D, nigga, in the mansion. So
Hey.
fuck that.
Big drip.
Word.
What's good with it, though?
Nah, man. I'm freaking, let's do this interview, man. Who we got today?
Hey, yo, they said Africa, Angola, Soweto, Zimbabwe, Tanzania,
Hey.
Zambia, Mozambique, and Botswana. So let us speak about the motherland.
Hey.
I don't know if y'all know what's up with that, but I'm telling y'all, nigga, this nigga right here, he done brought hip-hop to a different level, B. Yo, Daddy-O, what's up, baby?
I'm good. What's up with you, man?
Ah, man. Yo, you came in like you know what I'm saying? You was like, I'm good, baby.
I'm good. I mean, it's actually a little cooler today than most. I live in Houston, so it get hot here. So it's actually
Word.
cooler today than most days, which is always great for us.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Dope.
Yo, what you sipping on?
winters are lovely.
What you sipping on?
Oh, it's just a little rosé, man.
Come on,
I
let's
gotta
have
try
one,
to
baby.
Hold a little the
Let's
sugar
have one for
content
this interview.
down. You know how that go.
Yo, I got Shavi in here sipping on his Henny, and he hates this shit.
I don't drink Henny, man, but whatever.
He hates
Shabi,
it,
you should
Daddy,
try-
yo.
You should try the bourbon, man. The bourbon be real, yo.
I'm a
That's
light
why I be
drinker. I like tequila.
I be doing the bourbon and the cigars, man. I started doing, I became. You said you're getting old, Shabi, so you know what I'm saying.
I gotta slow it down. I be fucking with
I
cigars
know when
too.
you look. I know when you go to Mark House, you gonna have bourbon and cigars.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to pass. I'll take the cigar, but I'm gonna pass on everything else.
Word.
What kind of cigars you smoke?
All types of. There's one that's hard for me to get. It's a Partagas, but when you see Partagas, you usually see the red and the black. I be trying to get the green label. I only found it a few times, or I gotta order it. But I like the Partagas green. And then other than that, I move it around. Like I'll go into it and just tell the guy what kind of smoke I like and check other stuff. But I mean, that's my favorite, the Partagas green.
Okay.
Yo, I ain't gonna hold you, Daddy, yo. I went to my man crib, right? And he got a
Right.
real nice man cave. I mean, like, super nice man cave. Shit look like a little baby club. So
Right,
it's
right.
like 9 niggas down there, and they smoking cigars.
This nigga almost died.
So, yo,
he told me this.
I told Shavi this story. Yo, Daddy, yo, the window, I don't know if you can see me, the window is like this big. This shit is
Wow.
like small as fuck. So I'm at the window like this. So I'm like, yo, I gotta
crazy.
go. I walked outside. Yo, I live around the corner. Yo, I just start throwing up. I hit my man like, yo, son, the fuck was in that fucking cigar y'all was smoking? He said, nah, G, you ain't used to that shit.
Yeah, that cigar smoke is different.
Yeah,
cigar smoke is different.
man. It's
Word.
very different. Yeah.
Do you add something to your cigar or not?
No. Not those. I mean,
Yeah,
a
you can't do
blunt-
that with those. I smoke cigars
Yeah.
too. Like I don't really know.
Yeah, but a blunt is different. But I mean, if I'm
Names.
blazing, I really would prefer a frontal leaf than anything else.
Mhm.
But then I get mad old school too sometimes. Like I go back to the Phillies
Go
sometimes.
get a white owl.
Just for nostalgic purposes.
Yeah, just to get that. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Fucking
'Cause,
get a
you know,
Garza Vega.
Yeah. Or El. The reason we call them L's because we used to roll them at El Productos. That's why they call them L.
Makes sense.
Yo, I never knew that.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
I
El
never knew
Producto.
that. Come on,
Yeah.
keep talking. Keep talking.
That's
Yeah.
history right
You
there.
just fucked my head up.
Yeah, that's why we call them L's, because we used to roll them at El Productos. And then cats figured out that the White Owl was a little better, so they moved to the White Owl. And then there was certain people that liked the Philly because the Philly was softer.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm
See,
I was
saying?
a Dutch
that's
master guy. I'm a Dutch
Yeah.
master
Well, the
guy.
Dutch
came a
people ain't
little
doing
later.
Dutch.
Yeah, came a
Yeah,
little later.
they
Yeah,
didn't
Yeah.
start doing Dutch until later. And the Dutch actually Dutches are a little closer to the fronto leaf.
that's a
Hmm.
fact. That's a big fact.
Saying, but sometimes people roll a Dutch just like a fronto, like they unroll the Dutch,
Mm-hmm.
split, and then roll it back.
Yo,
Yep,
I'm
yep.
about to ask you a question. Were you a chew stick kind of guy back then?
Uh, No,
Yeah, I never
I
understood that shit. I'm like, yo, I'm not
no, I
fucking
get it. I get it
eating
because
on
a
a
lot of
piece
my
of bark.
family. No, I get it because
There's
my
a lot of
a lot
health
of my
issues
family
with it though,
Muslim.
man. You get a lot of health benefits.
Like
But
what?
I
Your teeth getting fucked up?
no, it's actually good. It's actually good for your
It's
teeth.
good for your teeth, yeah.
Yeah, they actually used to use it in certain African countries. They used to use it as a toothbrush.
Mm.
But I just never, I never understood. Like I never listen. I never did the chew stick, just like I never did the toothpick. Like I just
Mm-hmm.
never understood that whole concept of something hanging out of my mouth like that. That was like weird to me.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. I found some chew sticks a couple years ago. I was like, let me get, like you said, the nostalgic shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like, let me get some chew sticks, nigga, with strawberry. Word.
Cherry.
Yeah,
That was some
that was
bullshit.
some bullshit. But I had to,
yeah.
you
That
know.
was some bullshit.
Yeah.
You
I
right.
think I tried that
You
shit
right.
one
That was
time.
some
Yeah, I
bullshit.
did too. I ate like one, and I
You
was like,
right.
all right, let me throw these shits in the
Yeah, this
woods.
ain't for
Yeah,
me.
Nah, ain't for me. Word.
you right.
It sounded cool, but
Word.
Right, right.
Yo, let's jump right into it, B. Let's talk about it.
Okay, okay.
Stetsasonic, y'all started out, man. You know what I'm saying? A major group. I always
Right.
loved you guys. Y'all started out.
Thank
Y'all
you,
got a
thank you.
deal from a fucking from
Contest.
a
It's so
contest.
funny. It's so funny. I was talking about Mark. So the Fat Boys went into this contest called Tin Pan Apple because Mark and them got their deal through a contest too. We
Mm-hmm.
tried to enter and we was too late. I think we was late by a day,
damn.
so we couldn't get in Tin Pan Apple. And so we started entering contests all around the city. And Mr. Magic, God bless the dead, had a citywide, like a 5 borough citywide contest, rap contest, and it was interesting because it was like all these semifinals in each borough, and I don't know why, but it culminated in Coney Island. I don't know why that happened. Maybe it was the space, but we won all the semifinals, and then when we got to the finals, we actually won so strong. There was 3 labels, one for first place, one for second place, one for third place. All 3 labels wanted us.
That's what's up.
We won first, second, and third prize because they wasn't even looking at nobody else.
That's fire.
Can we
Yeah.
get a rundown of them labels? Cause I kind of know who y'all.
So
I know
it
who
was
y'all
it was
chose, but
Sugar Hill.
talk that
It was
shit.
Sugar Hill. It was Sugar Hill, right? That
Mm.
was the first. We actually went up there. I'm gonna tell you that story in 2 seconds.
Uh huh.
Then there was Top Boy in the middle, and then the third one was Pop Art. Now, hindsight being 2020, I probably would have went with Pop Art. Pop
Pop
Art
out,
was
yeah.
Lawrence Goodman out of uh out of Philadelphia, and
Mm-hmm.
he had called the Young Boys. That was his sons.
Mm-hmm.
He would go on to sign Salt and Pepper and a few other people. And most people that came through Pop Art, save his sons, ended up getting big major deals.
Mm.
Oh.
Way Lawrence was doing his business. I always keep telling myself I'm gonna find him because he was such a there's probably a huge story in black independent rap music executives that hasn't been told. Lawrence Goodman,
Absolutely. Nope.
Lawrence Goodman is one. But anyway, so we got Sugar Hill. Tyrone Williams, Fly Ty, who was producing Mr. Magic Show, went on to own Cold Chillin' Records later. Um, was kind of like an acting manager, but Ty was such a cool person. He was like, he don't want nobody to sign no papers. He just want to kind of guide us through. So we
Mm-hmm.
went up to Sugar Hill, and it was so crazy because they set this thing up like a damn movie scene. Like the Furious Five is out there in the parking lot playing frisbees with all
Okay.
these rented Benzes. Melly Mel comes from the back with 2 chicks on his arm. What's
Right.
up, Daddy? Yo, like it was crazy. Like we was like, we know no Bronx niggas don't play frisbee. You know what I mean? Like it was just nuts. But it was the
Uh,
way they set it up for us. But then the contract was so corny. Like it was two. It was basically a 2 point contract, which it
mm-hmm.
was 4% retail, which was like a 2 point contract. Which who the hell signs that? Maybe
Yeah, that's
everybody that
crazy.
did, but We said, nah, we just thought it was crazy. And we didn't even have the best lawyers, but we had lawyers that was good enough to say, well, nobody would sign this. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? And so I told Tyrone, well, Tyrone talked to me, said, so what you want to do? Because Lawrence wants you, oh, we go to Tommy Boy. And I like Tommy Boy because of the logo.
That shit was
They
dope.
had
That
break
shit was a good
they
one, man.
had break dances on the logo. So I was like,
Yeah.
they gotta understand about. So we went with Tommy Boy. But yeah, we got into a contest. So did the Fat Boys. I mean, I miss those days too, because you had to jump a little hurdle in order to get on. It wasn't like you just get on. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? There was something to do to get on. Somebody had to validate you in some form or fashion. You know?
Facts.
Yeah.
What was your first record coming out?
So the first song we did was Just Say Stet. It was interesting because we really didn't know how to make rap records. So here's the history on that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Rap, when we first started, I'm talking about cats plugging into street lamps and stuff. Making records was a corny issue. That's why it wasn't no rap records before '79
Mm-hmm.
because cats was saying because here's the end and be all of it. I can say it now because it came out. Run put out a record called Here We Go,
Mm-hmm.
and Run. I mean, and Run says on that Here We Go record, he said, "But if you say you heard my rhyme, we're gonna have to fight because I just made the motherfucker up last
Last
night."
night.
That was the prerequisite. Every time you came out, you had to have a different rhyme. You
Mm.
was whack. If anybody seen you do that rhyme twice, you was whack.
Mm.
So the whole prerequisite was that continuously be fresh, fresh, fresh. And the concept for us amongst the hip hop community was if we put out a record, then that's the same rhyme going over and over. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So in the beginning, nobody was making rap records. And we didn't know how to make rap records. We went in and made this song. We did this demo. The name of the demo was Stetsasonic. DVC was already in the group. Like I was in a group with guys producing the music already, right?
Mm-hmm.
Paul's making records, DV's making records. So DV had made this beat. We did a dope routine to it. But when Tommy heard it, because after we won the contest, he was like, "Well, do you guys have any material?" We had like two demos, I guess you could call them demos, and we let him hear the Just Say Stat joint, which became Just Say Stat. And he says, "Where's the hook?" And we was like, "What are you talking about? You mean like a chorus, like something that comes?" That's another thing that was corny to us. Like, why
Mm-hmm.
would you make a? I mean, you think Rappers Delight ain't had no hook, Super Rhymes ain't had no hook. Like, why would you make a hook?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You just rhyme it. So he says, no, we need a hook because if we're gonna get on radio. And he's the one that said, Tom Silverman was the one that said that line that Daddy-O says at the end of the song, but if you can't say it all, just say step would
Mm-hmm.
be dope if y'all could figure out a way to repeat it. And so we put our head together and we did it. And so Just Say Step was the first record. That was I want to say 84.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Just Say Step was the first single. And then still in that particular year, we also did the first video, which was what you was talking about,
Mm-hmm.
Africa. Tommy Boy didn't believe that video sold records, so they wasn't gonna lead with any video. No Stetsasonic record ever led with a video.
Mm.
Because we was with a label that was like, look, what you got to do is we put it out, let's see if it charts, let's see how the DJs take it, let's see how the mix shows take it, and then we'll do the video. So every
Mm-hmm.
Stetsasonic record was chased with a video. The Africa record we happen to do with an organization called the Africa Fund and do study guides that are still, because I was just doing an interview with somebody maybe a couple of months ago, and the guy showed me, said, man, I still got the study guide that was in, because we was in about 20 schools, 25 schools, just, breaking down Africa, like the
Okay.
countries and things that were going on. And so the Africa Fund paid for the Africa. They didn't only pay for the Africa video. We actually have a small documentary to that as well. So they did a
Oh,
little film on us, small
we
film, did a little film on us because we did it with Jesse Jackson. Remember, Jesse Jackson was in it with us. We had
running for
Baba
president.
Ogun, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we had all of that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that was the first video, um, Africa. And then we didn't have another video until Talking All That Jazz. There's no videos
Word.
first album. Yeah, Ghost Stetson never had a video. None of them records ever had videos.
Yeah, you know it's crazy because I had a guy that grew up on my block and he had a nice DJ set and he used to have
Mm-hmm.
parties and shit. So he used to always play y'all
Right.
music. So
Mm.
what you telling me right now, I'm like, yo, that's crazy because I remember seeing the Africa video and the Ghost,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? The talking all that
Right.
jazz and all that. So
Yes.
I never had it in between, but you guys is on my radar like a motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean, we made records and understand this. Like, and I say this to young people all the time. People hate it, but it's true. All great music is made for 5 blocks. That's great music. Great music is made for 5 blocks. Don't ever think that Big was trying to impress anybody beyond 5 blocks, or Jay was trying to impress anybody beyond 5 blocks, or UGK was trying to impress anybody. Because I live in Houston, and I just did a record with Bun last year. Um,
Mm-hmm.
One of them represent Port Arthur. People say Houston, but it's really Port Arthur. And whenever you hear them the UGK records, you hear PA in it all the time because
Mm-hmm.
that's what they do,
Word.
right? So that's what great records, most great records, and Bruce Springsteen making Asbury Park, it goes on and on. You know what I'm saying? And all those Motown records were from local cats. All them people
Mm-hmm.
lived in Detroit. You
Facts.
know what I mean? And then Chicago had Music Row and Stacks and all of that. So all great music is made for 5 blocks. So our concept was just to make the hood happy, and not the hood in terms of like how they talk now, but just our neighborhood, like people who was gonna, you know, be from those particular parts. And
Mm-hmm.
particularly for us, it was East New York because we our own country in our mind. You know what I mean? East New York, we not Bed-Stuy, we not Red Hook, we not Bushwick, we not Crown Heights, we none of that. With the closest association with us is our little hood friends over the bridge in Junior Street in Brownsville. So a lot of times you might hear somebody say East New York, Brownsville in the same token because we absorb that. But other than
Mm-hmm.
that, man, we was different. We was different animals. Nobody even want to come around.
Yo, y'all was
That was
different. When I
yeah,
when
that
I
wasn't
when
good.
that Brooklyn set off, I think it's
Yeah.
stetsasonic. When they talk about go Brooklyn,
Well,
I'm
we
like,
made
yo,
that. Whenever you
word.
hear the Go Brooklyn chant in a record, LL Cool J's Jingling Baby, whatever, that's us. We made that because what happened when we did the 12 inch, we did a little teeny piece on the 12 inch called Go Brooklyn. And it's a cappella first and then the drums kick in a little later, but you could grab it. So whenever you hear that go, actually, man, it's so crazy. We just started getting royalties from that singer out in LA, the girl Her, because she sampled the Go Brooklyn in one of her records.
Okay.
So my last royalty statement from Warner, her record was listed. I was like, whoa, this is crazy.
I know he's like, hey, hey, hey.
Yeah.
Keep it coming, baby.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Royalties ain't no joke, man. Publishing money is where it's at.
Yo, to be like a hip hop guy and talk that shit.
Right,
Yo, you know you should be amazing. Is that you could go anywhere in the fucking world. I don't give a fuck where you go. I went to
right,
Dubai and
right.
motherfucker, did you just hear Shabby just do
My
that?
bad. I didn't mean to do that, man.
Yo, hey daddy,
It's
yo,
the Hennessy. It's the Hennessy, man. I don't
tell us
fucking
nigga
drink this
something,
shit,
daddy,
bro.
yo. Tell us nigga something, daddy, yo.
He'll get it.
Yo.
He'll get it. You just gotta stay on his back about it.
Hey, yo.
See how they do us? We gotta
Yeah,
still,
absolutely.
hey, like, hey, yo, you can't say nothing these days.
Right, right. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh, because I said back. Okay,
Yeah.
I get it.
Hey.
I understand. I understand.
Yo, you know what's crazy is that I went to
I gotta
Dubai,
respect
right?
that point.
I
Mm-hmm.
went to Dubai, and this motherfucker said, "Yo, is Brooklyn in the house?"
Nah, this shit's
And it
everywhere.
goes right.
You can't get away. You can't escape that.
Yeah.
Word.
You cannot escape that.
In Dubai.
Yeah.
He
My
said, "Is
favorite-
Brooklyn
my
in the
favorite-
house?"
And what happened when he said that?
And the motherfuckers start going, "Oh!" And I'm like, "None of you motherfuckers are from Brooklyn."
Fuck
The
it.
fuck?
Brooklyn was there though.
But Brooklyn was in the house.
Brooklyn was there.
Yeah, my favorite moment for that type of activity was back in the day before we even made a record. The Cold Crush used to put out tapes,
Okay.
and there was a tape where the Cold Crush was killing this party. I don't remember where it was. It might have been T Connections, but I'm not sure. But they were hurting the party. But Kaz and them always hurt every party they played.
Mhm.
So it was hurting this party, and I don't know. They got into a little thing where they started saying, it's Manhattan and uptown in the house, whatever. And then when Cass said Brooklyn, like on the tape, you could just hear it. It just started getting crazy, scream. And he was like, "Look, I'm looking for that tape now because I'm gonna use it on one of my records." He said, "Love y'all, love y'all. I'm moving out there tomorrow." And we used to, that was bragging rights for us because Cold Crush was one of the top, you know, pretty much. I seen Cool Rock from the Fat Boys post something. I think it was yesterday, and he said, "I believe that all the early rap groups had got something from the Cold Crush."
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
That's a fact.
Because Kaz is an animal. Kaz is an animal. That's my man. I had him in a video last year. This joint I did with Smith and Wesson. I put Kaz in the video with me.
I was in Atlanta. You know what's crazy
Yeah.
is that like I'm such like a hip hop guy. I love this shit so much.
Right.
So me and my wife is in the car, right? We in Atlanta, and I'm
Right.
from New York. We in Atlanta,
Right.
and boom, I seen the big chains like this.
Right.
I said, "That's Cass." My wife said, "Who?" I said, "That's Cass right there. That's Cass." She said, "Who are you talking about?" I said, "The guy right there. That's Cass." I said, "I'm telling you." Yo, we go inside. Everybody's like this. Yo, Cass, can I take a picture with you for the gram? My wife was like, "How the fuck did you see that shit doing this?"
Right. Right.
This nigga's good. You're good. I ain't gonna front.
Yo,
This nigga
Cass
man's
one of
good.
them dudes, like, he's still nice, B. Like, I've been talking to him about records and stuff because he's still nice. Like, a lot of cats from that era, because that's the era right before me, don't really find a way to make the transition. I'm not saying that they can't rap, but they don't usually find a way to make the transition where people want to hear them, right? Cass still, like,
Nah,
he
that
just
motherfucker.
nice.
He like when you talk about biting, like yo biting MC, the motherfucker biting my style, and he's the ultimate motherfucker that got bit off of.
Yeah, even Rakim gives Cass credit. Like Cass, because so we got a thing. Most of us have a thing where we call a Mount Rushmore rap: Cass, Modi, and Melly Mel. And Rakim did an interview. He said, "Yeah, Cass and Mel. I didn't really, I never really heard a lot of Mo. You know what I'm saying? But for those of us that do know, lyrically, Modi was better than everybody. Like he had better flows. You know what I'm saying?
Talk that
Treacherous
shit.
3 had much better, like they had way better routine. It was so perfected, it was so different. People used to drop in places. The Treacherous never dropped. Like they never messed up. Like they was just dope. You know what I mean? And then remember, um uh not Sunshine, who's the other kid? Special K is Tila Rock, brother.
Oh my god, I'm good.
I ain't find that out till way later. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? So that was a family that had two dope rappers. But Tila Rock, I mean, pound for pound, you talk to a lot of people would say Tila Rock was the best. But remember, that thing happened and then he had that brain surgery. I
Yeah.
did a show with him like last year. He's
Okay.
back now. They're doing a movie. Fox is doing a movie on him and
Oh,
everything.
that's dope. That's dope.
The rapper who forgot himself or something like that. But remember, Tila Rock, first Def Jam record was Def Jam Party Time. So It's
Dope.
Yours is the first record with the Def Jam logo before they went to Sony.
Well, it's yours. Yo, that shit was
Yeah,
super dope.
we always say LL. No disrespect to L, but he was a little boy then. We always said LL's "I Need a Beat" was really the same record as It's Yours.
Yeah.
You know, you know what I'm saying. But they did it different. Rick Rubin had a different flow that came out, but that was the same kind of thing. I mean, I give them credit, like the Def Jam Massive. What Russell and Rick and all of them was doing. I give them credit because they aimed for something lyrical, which was dope. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it's like we didn't really think about lyrics like that. We just wanted to be dope rhymers. So if we was rhyming about Sally, we wanted that to be dope. If we was rhyming about Brooklyn, we
Some
wanted that to be
people don't like the way that
we wasn't
salad.
we were just trying to be dope rhyme. But Def Jam just as a label for a long period of time, man, they were very they were very much into lyrics. I mean, besides for the Beasties, even though the Beasties had some good sayings, not like they were dope
If you could
rappers.
say, yo, like an ultimate rapper. If you could pick one motherfucker out of the hat, because it's a lot of rappers, who would be
Right.
the ultimate rapper as far as like his swag, lyrics, he bagging bitches, the way he carry
I
himself,
mean,
professionalism.
it's really only one guy that fits that persona, and that's
Talk that
LL.
shit.
Only LL. And that's no disrespect to Ra. That's no disrespect to Mo, Kaz, Mel. Who else we got? We could throw in new cats like Black Thought,
Yeah,
Eminem.
yeah.
Who else they call lyrical? It's a bunch of Kendrick. All of
Mm-hmm.
them. You know what I'm saying? You could throw all in, but and if you want to talk about the entire package, LL's probably the only one that had it. Now Snoop would have had it if he looked better. And I'll
Yeah.
say that. You know what I mean? Snoop would have had it if he looked better, but Snoop didn't have the look. Never
Mm-hmm.
did.
Cause he's
So
skinny.
it's not only the skinny, it just didn't have the look. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, L was it. L was it. I mean, the closest to LL to me was Biggie.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean?
That's a big
You know,
fact.
because he carried it. You know, Big did something like I always say.
Ugly as
You know,
ever.
Fat, black, and ugly.
Big did
Yeah,
something
yeah.
different. Like he
There we
did
go.
something different, man. He did something nobody ever did it before him, and nobody ever did it after. You know what
Well,
I
let's
mean?
talk.
It's a lot of us that we could say, oh, that's like the next step. Oh, this guy reminds me of. You know what I mean? Like if you even sound like Big, they laugh at you.
That's a fact.
Remember
Well,
Gorilla
what-
Black?
Gorilla Black tried it, and that shit
Yeah, it was the worst thing in
foul
the world.
ball.
That was so stupid. Like, how dumb was that? The gospel
Word.
rapper guy tried it too. BBJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, how dumb can you be? Like, hello, like my man. Like, come on with that.
Yeah, that shit crazy.
Some people try it though.
And get away with it. Look at Designer.
For a second.
Designer got away with it, man.
For a second.
Well, he got away with it for a second. I
Yeah.
told my son, I got a son, he's 28. He listened. He listened to more lyrical, like Vinny Paz, self-titled, like them type of dudes.
Oh.
R.A. That's my man. You know, he had a show. I got my son in that show. But he for some reason like Designer. So I told him, I said, this kid's over, man. This kid could come. I said, no, man, you don't understand. He's finished. You know what I mean? Like that don't work. Like that does that kind of biting. It never works, bro.
Yeah.
It never. I don't care if you knew, if it was back in the day, gonna do it in the future. That kind of biting never works. You can't do that.
Doing
you know
too
what I'm
much.
saying?
Yeah, you're doing too much with that.
Doing too much, pop.
Yeah, because after a while, because then what are you gonna do after
that's
that? Like, how are you gonna hold? First of all, how you gonna hold? First of all, you ain't even had the persona that this dude Future has, right? Because Atlanta is its own country too, right? So own little thing going on or whatever. So you don't have what Future has. Like you don't have the friends he has. You don't have none of that. And so, and then find out that you was from right over there near Albany. Like, yo, man, somebody need to go rob him or something. Man.
Let's figure this out. Can we figure this out?
Like that,
Brooklyn.
and you from Albany. Like, no, my man, no. You know what I'm saying? That just never works. So
Is Brooklyn in the house?
Yeah, he was repping Brooklyn heavy.
Nah,
He's from Albany for real?
Yo, you had the crib in the Bronx, man.
I don't know if it was from the Albany projects, but from what I hear, he was from that area, like right over there, like Albany, St. John's, like right in there.
Okay, yeah.
Yo, you had the crib in the Bronx, man. You got to work with a lot of people, man. When I hear the stories, I'm like, wow, everybody came to that crib.
No, it was in
that
Brooklyn,
shit, big bro.
It was in Brooklyn.
Oh, Brooklyn?
So what happened
My
was
bad. Live at the barbershop, foul on the play.
I learned. I tell people this all the time, and I try to encourage young people with this. I always tell them, and I've been saying this for years, learn how to do everything yourself. That don't mean you're going to always do everything yourself, but learn how to do everything yourself. It's important because when I first went in the studio, no producer could jukes me because I knew what I was doing. Right? So even when I went to do A&R for Universal MCA, no producer could come to me and tell me something cost because I used to tell them, I used to have cats, when I used to sign cats, I say, man, tell me what you need for your pockets for the next 12 months. Let me figure everything else out. I'll get you in the
Okay.
studio. I'll get you the musicians. I'll get you because don't start telling me these blown up budget numbers when I know I could do it probably in better quality for cheaper. So what happened was I moved from um the Noble Drew houses, which was the real New Jack City,
Uh huh.
Bo King and his sister Deborah, because they had that shit cracked out. But
Okay.
anyway, I moved from Noble Drew to Classen Avenue, which is around the corner from Big, but I ended up moving even a block closer to Biggie. But I lived on Classen, and that's when I bought my first equipment. And I started buying equipment. I started learning how to produce. I started learning how to trigger samples and do all these things. So I started learning how to produce. So that went from me moving from that place, the condo in Classen, to getting a house on and which was 2 blocks around the corner on Irving Place between Putnam and Gates, and it was 1, 2, 3. It was like 4 levels, but the fourth level was really a sub basement. But that's where I put the studio.
Mm-hmm.
I started doing things, and then I was in the neighborhood. So being that I was in the neighborhood, people knew I was in the neighborhood. So some of the best things that come out of there was Foxy,
Oh
because
yeah.
Paris, my man Fox, my man was their manager. My man was a hustler, but he was their manager, her manager. So he's like, I got this girl, Inga, she rap. So she used to come, um, Junior Mafia, because Just used to live right next door to me, and that was Un brother.
Mm-hmm.
So Un used to just come and hang out with me. And then he was just like, yo, D, man, I got this idea. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, what? He said, man, Big got these kids, man. I said, talk about them kids that be running around the neighborhood with Biggie. He like, yeah, man, we could turn them into a rap group. And he got this girl, Kim. I think she could really rap. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, all right, cool, whatever. So, but Kim was the only one that really was rapping. Like, yo, the real talk, bro. The first time we went in the studio, like I'm talking about not my studio, even though I had a 24 track machine in my studio. The
Mm-hmm.
real studio, like the big room, quad. The first time we went in quad, C's and them was hiding,
Mm.
driving, and they was trying to peek behind the door, like for us not to see them to take them. Like, cause they really didn't want to. None of them wanted to rap. The two people that wanted to rap was Kim and Klepto. And if you
Oh.
listen to Junior Mafia album, if you hear Klep could rap. You hear Kim is flowing, Biggie flowing, but nobody else is really that great.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Really, I mean, we got a gold and platinum album out of it, but you know what I'm saying. But that wasn't really that great. But so that was so yeah, Junior Mafia, and then everybody else used to just come through. Like you know what I'm saying. I was still like, that was like the end of Stetsasonic kind of making records, even though we're making a new record now, but and the end of Stet kind of stuff. So, I was cool. So, of course, Dougie stopped through, YZ stopped. Like, it's so many people. Sometimes I be talking to people and they be like, yo, man, I remember the first time I seen you, man. I was at your studio. It's like, really? And it's like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I was high out of my mind most days. You know what I mean?
Smoking
But
that
yeah,
Reggie.
a lot of people,
That's all was
a lot of
going.
people came through, man. It was, I miss those days too because I feel like, especially for us, right? So when I say us, I mean my generation kind of
Mm-hmm.
era, right? We're not connected anymore because we all moved out of the city.
Uh-huh.
So, you know what I mean? It was like we was always running into each other one way or the other because we all lived in the city. We all lived in the
Mm-hmm.
same city. So even though Dougie was in Manhattan and Daddy O was in Brooklyn and say Craig G was out in Queens, it didn't. We still seen each other some kind of way, form, or fashion.
Yeah, yeah.
And with everybody kind of growing older and moving out, we don't rub elbows anymore. And that's where I feel like a lot of that cats not making records come from. Because I feel
Mm-hmm.
like we rubbed off with each other. Because I remember this clearly, bro. I produced Top Billing for the audio too. And I'm booming, right?
Woo-hoo. Audio
Every
two,
club, we on the
studio.
radio. You know what I'm saying? We killing
Never
it, right?
knew that.
You know what I'm saying? So we man, I remember one day I was at a club, man. My word to my mom. Eric Sermon came up to me and said, "Yo, Daddy, O man, you got us with the single, but we gonna fuck you up on the album." And that damn Strictly Business album came out and blew everybody world.
Word, that's what fire.
But understand that feeling, like what it feels like to be Eric Sermon. You know you got a deal. You know you're getting ready to come out, but this top billing record is going crazy. I know what I gotta make. Like I know what I gotta make.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm trying to say? So even though It's My Thing was a dope first single, and by the time they did Customer and the rest of them records,
Woo! Fire.
you know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm talking about. Like everybody shared that pot. You had to listen to this LL record that's gonna break, or this rock. I never forget, man, being in the Latin Quarter, brother. I was hanging out in the Latin Quarter. Red Alert was on the turntable.
Mm.
See Eric and all them come in. Shout out Supreme Magnetic and his brother, R.I.P. But he came in there with what people call a paid in full posse. You look them up, you Google them, you'll see Ant, you'll see the original 50 Cent, you'll see all of them. All of them, what we would now call goons, come in. About 10, 11 of them. They come in, they got their gold on, they what I'm saying, they watch it, whatever. I say what's up to Eric and stuff. And this record comes on. And we like, oh, the sound is crazy, but when we heard this guy rhyming, yo, man, I'm telling you, man, when Rakim came out, we all went back to the drawing board.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's what do you do now? Like, what do you do now when this guy is lining those metaphors up and you know what I'm saying? He ain't doing that stuff we do. Come on, all that jumpy. He not doing none of them antics. He making and then you got to realize right around that time, Rich Porter's still alive.
Yeah.
Alport still out. Fat Cat's still home. Like right around it. So it fit the mentality and the kind of flow that we always about, even if we wasn't hustlers.
Mm-hmm.
The dressing slick and you know what I mean, whatever. So that music fit, and we realized that we, you know what I'm saying. I'm not saying just that's a Sonic, bro. If you do an interview with anybody, everybody will tell you, I gotta do something. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? You see what I'm trying to say? But that's my point. My point is you rubbing up against cats, then you gotta see them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's not only you hearing they joints, but you gotta see them too. And you gotta give them hugs. You're like that. You like,
Yeah,
you
like
really,
damn son.
fuck you, man. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why Stetsasonic is so well. Part of it was our beginning, but that's part of the reason Stetsasonic was so good on stage because we had a philosophy like we could be friends until we get on that stage, and then
Mm-hmm.
we fuck y'all up. You know what I'm saying?
Now
But
y'all
that was
had
the
that.
yeah. But you know what I'm saying? But that was the thing. Like that was the thing, and I feel like the young people have it. They see each other. Broadway
Mm-hmm.
might be Florida, but at some point he's still gonna run across Blueface who lives in California. One of them kids like Travis that live here. You know what I mean? He's still gonna. So they have that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But us, because we grew up older, a lot of us moved out of New York because of conditions, price, children. We don't rub up against each other enough. I feel for cats to really. And I mean, I'm making excuses for them because I
Mm-hmm.
make, and I'm just listen. I was just listening to the stuff that I haven't put out and made a decision that first of all I got probably got two albums finished and
Mm-hmm.
then like that's unfinished with maybe 4 or 5 tracks each. But I made the decision like this record I got about mental health got to be the next record. I did a whole album on mental health.
Okay.
And I got 2 hits on it. Like I'm not gonna say they all hits because they definitely fill the album with what needs to be there.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely got 2 hits on it. And then when I heard this new Brandy record, I was like, yeah, I'm right on time.
Dope.
That new Brandy record's a fucking monster, man. You know what
Which one?
else is a new monster? That new Akon shit goes hard. That new
Or
Akon. Yo, I didn't even
Shab,
expect
you
it,
know
bro. I
about
listen
that?
to
New
everything.
Econ shit, he said?
Listen to me. I
I
listen
didn't even.
to everything just to listen. I don't expect nothing for nobody. You know what I'm saying? I just want to figure it out, see what they doing. Some people I like, some people I don't. That new Akon, I was very because I'm not an Akon fan, bro.
Mm-hmm.
but the record go hard, son. He only got like 7 tracks on it, but it go hard. Like I'm like, wow, he kind of did that. But the new Brandy record's so dope. I listened to that shit. Like I had it in my headphones. I went to sleep with that shit on.
Yo, Daddy, yo, to bring it back to Stetsasonic. You know what I'm saying? Shavi's
Yeah.
from a younger generation than us. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
Oh, let's do that. Let's do that. Hold on, hold on. Don't do it so fast. Not so fast, son. Let me get mine, son.
No good. I'm not taking
Yo,
it from you.
this guy's a
I'm
quitter.
good.
He's a quitter.
I'm gonna
Yo,
relax.
You should have just brought you some Don Cuervo up in there, man.
Yeah, I
word.
mean, I left. It's all right.
Ah, this guy.
I need a
Yeah.
break. I need
Yo,
a
when he
break from
say
this shit.
tequila, when he say tequila, he be around pretty women all the time because he said
They like that
Yeah.
tequila,
Oh, he's a
man.
fly guy. He's a fly
I
guy.
see where you at. Yeah,
Like
he
Kasani.
rock star. Rock
Yeah.
star. I get it. I get it.
Hey man, I'm trying to be like y'all, man. I'm trying to get my
Hey, hey, hey. Yo, Daddy, yo.
Yo,
To bring this young generation in. If a motherfucker said, you know what, I need to listen to a Stetsasonic record, and this is
right,
gonna give me the form of what Stetsasonic is about. What record
right.
should Shavi play?
You talking about one song?
Just one song to say, yo, boom.
That's hard as hell. Um,
See, I'm gonna go with Ghost Stetsa because when that
I
bam
mean,
bam,
I think Ghost Stetsa, but the thing about Ghost Stetsa, so you talking about two different times. Like when we made Ghost Stetsa, that was the first record, and although it felt good, we weren't sonically as expansive as we were with the second album.
okay,
We made the second album; those records was, they was thick, they was big. You know what I'm saying? We mixed them in bigger studios. Um, I probably would say Sally, man.
mm, you hear that shit, Savi?
Yeah, I probably would say Sally just because of the sound
Sally.
on it,
Sally.
because it's a story record. You know what I mean? Like one of the things that I miss in hip hop, and I listen to a lot of young hip hop, but I don't hear a lot of stories.
Word.
Mm-hmm.
You
That's
know
a
what I
fact.
mean? And I'm like, I know they got stories.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I know they live in stories, but they
Kendrick
don't
does that a
usually.
lot. He's a story. I love Kendrick, man. It's like one of my favorite artists
Yeah,
out right now because he
yeah.
just got
So
substance to his music. And I grew up
yeah,
in that
so
hip hop era. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, Kendrick is like one of my and J Cole.
yeah,
You know what I mean? They give you
yeah.
stories every once in a while.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So I that's what I look. So I feel like Sally could kind of fulfill it. Plus, you know, a lot of people don't know this, but Fufon did the beat on Sally. That beat go hard.
That shit hard.
nah, it's crazy beat. I ain't gonna front.
That beat go hard. Like it holds, man. I done heard it in a million different. I can't say a million. It's not really a million, but I done heard it in hundreds of clubs, different setups, all over the world. And when that when that joint come on, man, that
Some
joint
people
holds,
don't
man.
like the way
Yeah,
that
yeah.
Sally.
Sally holds.
That shit hard.
Sally holds. Yeah, yeah. I love the holes, bro. Yeah,
Yo, when y'all performing, can we get
yeah.
a rundown of like, you know what I'm saying? Each group got like a certain sound. What y'all
Right.
starting off with?
What
What
y'all
y'all
coming
ending
out
with?
to? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we come out to something different every time. Like
Oh.
when Bobby Smurder was hot, we come out to whatever hot.
Mm-hmm.
We've been doing that since we was, since we was kids in the game. So whatever's hot, we coming out to that.
Mm-hmm.
So it don't matter. We coming out. So when Smurder joint was hot, we came out to that. Now I'm gonna tell you what happened the last show we did. We did a show in Amsterdam. Um, the new single, the new step single, it's called Now Y'all Giving Up Love. But I had the track, and I knew I was gonna be with the guys for a while because I've been trying to get my guys to rhyme. So I started remaking these records in 2016. I am now with this Goat Antidote album. Like this is my sixth album since 2016. And I've been trying to get my guys to rhyme, but come see, come saw, yeah, D, but whatever. So they wasn't really like moving on it. So now I had my last album out, was From My Hood to You. And so when I went up top, we all stayed in New York. We all stayed in the same crib before we was leaving for Amsterdam.
Mm-hmm.
So I had guys kind of hang out with me and see what I was doing. So they see me go up to, see Ebro and Rosenberg at Hot 97. They see me do this and do that. And so they was like, damn, this nigga real about this. Like, he's for real. So they started feeling it out. And I had this beat. And the beat that I had, my man Kevin Dean, who did Mary J. Blige and a bunch of other stuff, he had gave me this beat. And the first time I heard the beat, I said, yo, I'm holding this beat for Stetsasonic because if I listen to it one more time, I'm gonna make a record.
Mm.
It is. I know I'm going to use it. So I don't want to use it. I don't want to get caught up. I don't want to. Same reason why I'm doing self-destruction too now, right?
Dope.
So Primo gave me the track. I won't listen to it again.
Mm.
I'll start rhyming it. And I don't want to do that, right? So I held this beat. And so what happened was I played it for the guys and they liked it. And so when we went to rehearsal, I put it on, show Bobby and Paul apart so he could do the drum parts and all of that. And I said, do the lyrics to No BS Allowed. This. And so that's what we came out to, this new track that we had, but we did the lyrics to No BS Allowed. That was dope. But normally we come out to anything that's hot. I don't care what it is. Whatever is the hottest record, we would come out. So we just find the hottest rap record that's out and we just come out to.
Hey, big bro, we got DJ Shavi in the building.
Yes, sir, man.
And he got a question that he asked.
And I'm not asking it. I got to switch it up today, man.
Oh my God, you can't do that for Daddy O.
Nah, I got to switch it. Well, it's a 2-part question today then. Fuck
yeah, we gotta need it because we need this for Daddy O. Daddy O's like major, son.
Nah, I feel you.
So we
I thought
need
you was
to know this shit.
I thought you was gonna talk. So
Nah,
you
not
appreciate
today.
you appreciate the question then.
I appreciate the question, Daddy O.
Right.
And I need that. So can we get that, Shavi?
Yes. Mr. Daddy-O.
Yes, sir.
What's the most memorable moment in your career? Like something that pops out the most to you? Like you'll never forget it. It's a story you're gonna tell your great grandkids.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. It's so many.
Yeah, I usually get that answer.
There really are so many. It's one that I talk about a lot. Well, it's two. Let me tell you two. One is in my career, but it's just not about my career.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you the one in my career that's about my career. We was in LA. We was on a tour. It was LL Cool J and Houdini were co-headliners of that tour. Step down from that was usually Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, but on weekends, Dougie Fresh and the Get Fresh crew would come in. Step down from that was Eric B. and Rakim. Down from that was Public Enemy. Sometimes EPMD, but mostly not. And then Stetsasonic was the opening act. However, when we went on tour, Stetsasonic and Public Enemy, the two biggest acts, shared a bus. We had a bus with 12 beds.
How low
we had a bus with 12 beds. LL had his own bus. It wasn't a bunch of them. Houdini had their own bus. Wasn't a bunch of them. Eric and Rod had their own bus. Wasn't a bunch of them. Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince had their own bus. Wasn't a bunch of them. But us and Public Enemy shared a bus. And this one particular day, I call it the day Eric B beat the bootleggers, is they went out. I went somewhere else. I don't know, because I never used to go where they go. But they went out to a swap meet, and I think it was Slauson, and these guys had these mixtapes. And every tape that had anybody that was on tour, Eric took it. He took it. So he came back with like all these tapes, giving us tapes and stuff like that. You know what I mean? He took it. But interestingly enough, it's where we discovered this 12-inch called Dope Man by this group called NWA.
Yeah.
When I say we, I just saw him. He's still one of my main cats. Happy birthday to him today too. Chuck D from Public Enemy.
Happy birthday.
Me and Chuck loved this record. And we had a big argument on the bus with everybody else in Public Enemy and Stetsasonic. Everybody but Wise. Wise was the only one that wasn't beefing. But everybody, Griff, everybody, oh, that shit's corny. And we were like, yo, listen.
Niggas is hating big time, right?
And we were like, yo, New York. First of all, we were happy. Let me tell you why it makes it memorable for me. because I've always believed that rap could go beyond New York. I always felt like us just being in New York was a very limiting feeling because, you know, what does that mean when we go to even places like Philly? You know, what does that mean if it's only us that's doing it, right?
Facts.
So you know, we always believed it. Or and I know Chuck believed this, and I know I believe that, you know, at some point, rap's gonna break out and it's gonna be rap from everywhere. You know what I mean? And that was the thing that excited us, like when rap's gonna start coming from everywhere. And so that was just, I'm not saying that, you know, people in Atlanta, Shy D was making music, Luke was making music in Miami. So I'm not saying it was just LA, but it was just being in LA and hearing that NWA record and saying, yo, there's a future here. You know what I'm saying? Like there's something here is gonna something's gonna happen
Yeah,
with
yeah.
this.
Well, look where
And
we at now. Look where hip hop's at, how hip hop's at right
yeah,
now. Like number
exactly.
one genre of music to like
Yeah,
number
yeah.
one. You know
And
what I'm saying?
look
Like
where
nothing's
Cuba's at.
fucking
Look
with
where
that.
Cuba's
What we
at
doing
right
right now?
now.
So
So yeah, so that was that. And then the other moment that's like, of course, it's in my career because it's in my life, but got nothing to really do with my career. It had something to do with my production career.
mm,
Is I recorded the time, you know, the first times Tupac got shot, and so that was just that's that was just a mind blowing thing. Like the whole everything about that is just
yeah,
crazy because most people don't recognize like there was never a beef between Big and Pac. Um, you know, I know I'm just keeping it a buck. I know who robbed him and shot him. You know what I mean? Like it ain't had nothing to do with Biggie at all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Um, and then, you know, just everything that happened that particular day, and then Tupac being so strong because we didn't have the whole story about Pac until they took him to the, you know, to the hospital. And then we met this girl who was at Quad, which is on 48th Street and Broadway, right across the street from where Latin Quarter used to be, interestingly enough. But right next to that studio, there's a gentleman's club. I think it's still there. I can't remember the name of it. But anyway, there was a girl who was a stripper that had came out. And she told us the story. She told us that Pac had already been shot and came out the building, stood up with some big long. She said he had some big long gun, and he's out there talking about, "I'm gonna get him, I'm gonna get him." And she was like, "Yo," because he was kind of delirious, and she was like, "Yo, you can't do that." And she had this big old fox her coat, and she held him in his coat, and she's the one that took him upstairs before he passed out. You know what I mean? But it was just, you know, Big had to go the next day and get the gun out of the piano. You know what I'm saying? Or because remember, Pac was in town for a rape case,
mm,
and if they would have found that gun in the piano, he wouldn't have came.
that would have been finished. Word,
So
especially
he
in New
called
York.
Big. Yeah, he called Big, and my cousin Jacob went up and got the gun out the piano for him. It's just an interesting day, man. You know what I'm saying? Just Puff putting pressure. We put pressure on Puff that day. It was crazy. It was just a so
Yeah,
you know,
I can only imagine, man. That's crazy.
yeah, yes, but yeah, man. I just, you know, and then for me, like, so I'm like, even then, I'm kind of the OG in the situation. Like, for me to like now be here and both of them be gone, it's like I get weirded out. Like, I don't believe in conspiracy theories and stuff, but with them two,
It's
can't,
kind of
I
like
can't,
yeah, it's kind of
yeah,
obvious. Like
I
Yeah,
you
he's
can't
know what I
put
out
mean?
I
there.
can't put my finger on that one, man, because these two guys are very, very powerful, man, and super duper talented, man. Like they just used to do things to just defy everything. Like the first time I'm in the studio with Biggie, he in my studio, that same studio you was talking about in Brooklyn. And he on my phone, the studio phone. Me and Un is sitting in the booth, and he, you know, him is C's because C's is always his right hand man. So him and C's is there, and they roll a blunt. And they sitting there. He talking to some girl on the phone. They blazing, and then I'm in there kind of setting the track up. And then Ungo D, he ready. I'm saying ready for what? He says he's ready to cut vocals. And I
Yeah.
was like, where's his pad? And he said, D, the nigga don't write. I said, what? What do you mean he don't write? He said, D, the nigga don't write. So the whole time he's on the phone with this girl, he's
Yeah.
writing a rhyme in his head.
Yeah.
Nigga just jumps on the fucking mic and go, I'm surrounded by criminals, heavy rollers, even this. I'm looking at this nigga, I'm like, what the fuck
Jeez.
just happened here, man? Like, yo, what just happened? He did the same thing when we did the Real Love remix for Mary.
Mhm.
He's sitting out there. I'm teasing. I always tease Puff. I'm out there teasing Puff and all of that type of stuff. He said, I'm ready. Niggas gets on the mic. Look up in the sky. It's a, what the fuck, B? Like, I don't even understand. Like, I don't.
Fuck
You know
you
what I'm saying?
mean?
Yeah,
Word.
no. Who does that, bro? Like, later on in life, I've worked with two other people that don't write, which was Jay-Z and Styles P from The Lox, and
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
neither one of them write. And the process was almost the same. Um, but Biggie, the interesting part about Big is that he could be doing other things. Now, when I worked with Styles P just sat and thought of it and then went in the booth.
Probably smoked a pound of weed, right?
Jay, yeah,
Facts.
Jay kind of paced the room. But with Jay, now here's the difference with Jay. Jay comes up with 316s and says,
Mm.
which one sounds better? And he'll run them off. Like, yo, who are y'all, man? Like,
Word.
who are y'all, man? I don't know that life, man. So, I don't know, man.
That's
It's
dope. That's
interesting.
greatness.
It's
So we jumping into
interesting.
the
Yeah,
top
it is
five. We might as
greatness,
well go
bro.
to top five from here.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, Daddy O, we got a
Yes, sir.
question now. We ask everybody. You know what I'm saying? This is
Uh-huh.
this is the part of the show we talk that hip hop shit. Since
Right,
you done
right.
brought it in, G. Do you got a fucking top 5 rappers of all time, dead or alive? And it
That's
can
so
go
hard for
on.
me.
You can just, you know what I
No,
mean?
it's hard
Some
for me.
some people
It's
be like top 30, but just give us a
yeah,
top
I mean,
5, son.
it's hard for me. Um, I say this and I say this often.
Uh huh.
It's very difficult for anybody to prove to me that Melly Mel is not the greatest in the world ever.
Mm.
Mel always gets my props as being the top.
Where you
Maybe if
from and
Cal,
how much you benching?
huh?
He said, "Where you from and how much you benching?"
Yeah. Um, if Cowboy would have lived, maybe it would have been Cowboy because remember Cowboy taught Mel how to rap. I
Yep.
just called my man Shamel the other day and I said, man, did anybody ever have a better rap voice than Cowboy? Because that shit was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but Mel is up there. Of course, Kaz is there. Uh, Modi is there, and then I digress. I start going to the like mysticals and the Pimp C's of the world, like because
Keep
I
going.
stopped listening to New York rap in the '90s.
Keep
Like
going.
That's a
'90s,
fact.
I left New York rap alone because a lot of cats was lying. And remember,
Hmm.
I'm a old school. Well, I'm old school now, but I'm a true school dude who remembers that we started doing hip hop to kind of get out of the criminal element and some of that other stuff. And for me to kind of see these guys go into it just because of NWA and everybody else was talking it, it bothered me. So I'm not a guy that owns one DMX album, one Big Pun album. Like I know Big L because I know them niggas uptown, and my little nephew, he just came home from doing 10. Like he used to be with them. So I know that, right? I know mob style. You know
I
what I'm
got something
saying?
to say to the
Yeah, you know what I'm
homeboys
saying? But
around the way.
I don't really know like New York. So I started listening in the 90s. I started listening. So I started dealing with like 40 wasn't really a solo artist. He had a group called a Click with D uh Be Legit and D Shot and his sister Sugar. And so I
Mm-hmm.
used to listen to the Click a lot. A bunch of UGK. I was way early on Scarface and them when they was the Ghetto Boys. I was on the Ghetto Boys when Big Mike was with the Ghetto Boys. Actually, on my new album, Big Mike is on that album.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so
UGK
I
is
saw
like one of my favorite groups of all time. I ain't gonna
yeah.
front.
Like my
Niggas
top
look at
rap
me
record
crazy.
of all
Listen
time
Yeah,
is
up.
niggas look
Ride
at me
the
crazy.
Yeah. UGK is crazy. So
Crazy, bro. You kind of
yeah,
look like Bun a little bit.
whatever. I just cut, I just cut my hair.
He said, whatever.
I just cut my hair. I usually have a head full of hair, but the other day I just was like I had to do a little thing in Dallas. I came back. I was like, yo, man, I'm cutting my hair off.
It's
So
too
I'm gonna
hot
do
out
this.
here, goddamn. Right?
I'm gonna leave. I ain't had a bald head since '93. So
Damn,
I'll keep it that way. Yeah.
crazy.
Yo, you are that dude, son. If you say, you
Thank
know
you.
what, Brooklyn, Queens, you got Long Island, Staten Island, and you got a lot of other places. So we like to. Who the fuck is calling me while I'm fucking with Daddy O? Yo, we like to ask a question on who got
Right,
the motherfucking home runs when you say this area knocked these shits out the park. You know what I'm saying? We
right.
got a lot of Queenses. So we're gonna ask Daddy, yo, which borough got the most home runs as far as hot rappers and the ill
So
hits?
I had an argument. I had a real crazy argument with Doggy Diamonds, right? Because YZ, who was one of my best friends, made a real important point to me and says, why people never look at New Jersey, right? He
Mm.
said, you guys always talking, but he said, pound for pound, we might be the best, D. And I thought about it, man, and Jersey is real close to being the best, man. When you start talking about now records is a different thing. Um, Especially if you go after '90s, because after the '90s, we had Jay-Z and Big out of Brooklyn,
Mm-hmm.
saying, and that encompassed a lot and gained a lot of ground. But it moves around for me, man. I kind of like Jersey when I look at Do It All, Tretch, Lakim Shabazz, Latifah, Rod Digger. Like I just feel like they come with it like
Redman from New York City too.
rhyming level. Um, as far as overall home runs, it's probably got to be Queens.
Mm.
I just I mean, how could you have like you got Nas and Run DMC? I don't have to say nothing.
Facts.
That's it.
Nas, Run DMC, like okay, you got it. Like you know what
That's
I
it.
mean?
And then you said
And then
LL earlier.
Word.
yeah, and then LL, like it's kind of crazy. Like Queens did they thing, man. Queens really did they thing. But I mean, I feel like Brooklyn always felt very underground to me. I felt like
Mm.
we always get the underground crown. You know what I mean? The down and dirty kind of we gonna always get that. Besides for one cat, and that's Big L.
Mm-hmm.
Because who knows? I mean, there's so many arguments about people. Oh, Jay Z would never been this big if Biggie wasn't living. Like, nigga, the question is, who would have been big if Big L still lived?
Facts.
You know what
Facts.
I'm
Word up.
saying?
Word
But
up.
this little dude was really kind of. Even if you listen to some of the stuff that he was trying, it was experimental in the beginning, but he didn't live long enough. Even if you listen to some of the stuff that he was trying to make commercial, this guy would have ended up doing some really cool things, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I guess on that level, man, I probably gotta say Queens, just because I mean they got G Rap. You know what I'm saying? People don't count them, but they got Shan, and that counts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Shan
hell yeah.
is one for any of us to go. Marley Marl as a producer, like that's crazy.
Maul was that dude. I ain't gonna
Oh
front
yeah,
when they came out of that fucking that projects. I said
yeah.
they got to be something in that water, son, because they got
Something,
Too
too many niggas coming out of that
many,
projects.
too many. Like it was just crazy over there.
Word.
Actually, Marley is one of the So when I started putting together the Self Destruction 2 project, I kind of put out an APB for 5 dudes, right? So it
Mm-hmm.
was Premier, um, Large Professor, Pete Rock, Easy Mo B, and Marley Marl.
Mm-hmm.
So those are my first 5. And then I ended up gaining some along the way. Rockwilder's giving me some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because we worked in the studio, KG from Naughty by Nature gave me some heat, and then I already asked Prince Paul to mix it. So so yeah. But that's coming along interesting because it looked like I'm gonna end up doing Self Destruction 2 in phases. Like
Mm.
I gotta like I'm getting ready to do just a strictly Bay Area joint, and then
Mm.
I've been cats in Texas about doing just like a Texas joint, not just Houston, but you got cats like Yellow Beezy and them that come from Dallas and stuff like that, and a few cats from Austin, that kind of thing. And then I've been talking to my man Set Free, and he like, yo, the Primo beat, because I let him hear it. He's like, the Primo beat, man, you need to get like Nas, Jada
Yeah.
Kids, you
Yeah.
know what I mean, like that kind of thing. So and it's so many. It's so you got to think. You go back to the first Self Destruction. Even though your 3 favorite rappers was just obviously absent, LL, Kane, and Rakim. But besides for that, you pretty much got most people that was the popular people of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Saying, um, so but it's so different now because there's so many people.
But you
You
gotta
know,
pick.
so
You gotta pick them top ones.
well, yeah, and then the other thing is, I feel like self destruction. So this is my plan. I feel like self destruction now is something different than what self destruction was then. So self destruction then was just about violence.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It was just about violence and hip hop, and just kind of outpouring from us to say we're not starting this violence.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, we're trying to keep some of it down. But nowadays, you're dealing with suicide, you're dealing with opioids, you're dealing with human trafficking, you're dealing with, just so many issues that young people are going through. So my real self destruction, when I'm saying real, I don't mean real, but the main self destruction record for me is probably a record with all the artists of the day produced by either like a Zaytoven,
Mm-hmm.
Mike Bill, something like that. Like I'm seeing Megan, I'm seeing Lil Uzi Vert, I'm seeing, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm seeing, Rod Wave. Like that's what I'm seeing. And
Mm-hmm.
just have pour their heart out about the pain that they shit. Shit. Megan could really talk about pain now.
Yo, daddy, Shavi over there. I don't know what that nigga feeling this. Look,
I'm
let's get the
listening,
camera.
man.
Let's
I'm
get the
listening.
camera on
I'm taking
Shavi.
I'm taking all the notes right now, man.
Shavi, daddy, Shavi is Smack
I'm
Records.
taking notes, man. This little baby ass Henny didn't do nothing.
That Henny got him, daddy,
They got him. They
She was
got
a
him.
little ass
Got
shot.
him.
got him. Yo, daddy,
Got him.
let's take a shot on that, man. Let's take a
Yeah, no
shot
doubt.
on Shavi being smacked.
Yeah. Yeah, on Chavi. Smack Records.
Word.
I ain't
Yo,
smacked, man.
we got a couple more. We got like 3 more questions for you, daddy.
Oh yeah, yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
If you could work with anybody in the game right now,
Hmm.
it don't matter. Old school, new school, don't matter. Who would it be?
Um, my peers. Like I've been putting out this APB for years that I just want to and it's not I could produce records too. I produce records well, but I just want to A&R records for my peers right now. Like I want to make a new Slick Rick record. I want to make a new Rakim record. I want to do that kind of stuff. Like,
Mm-hmm.
maybe a couple of years back, it might have been some of the other people that I hear but I feel like the young people got it covered. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't nobody need to help J. Cole. He's gonna be fine. Don't nobody need to help Kendrick.
Stop
He's gonna be
drinking,
good.
man.
You know what I'm saying? Like they gonna be good. But
Mm-hmm.
my peers, I just feel like there's something I know when I'm writing songs, I say to myself, they got something to say.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they got something to say, but they kind of feel like it doesn't make sense to say. That's the only way I could describe to you why my peers are not making music. Because they probably feel like I think part of them they feel like nobody's gonna listen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then I take the opposite approach. And most people say, I'm gonna make it. And if they don't listen to it, I'm not gonna do it no more. Me, I say I'm gonna make it. And if they don't listen, I'm gonna make more. Like I'm gonna make
Facts.
them listen. You know what I mean? So um it's interesting because like I said, I might have my favorites, but every time I make an album, I get more like I'm getting more critical acclaim from this album than I did the other five,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of went straight hip hop on this one. Like I got Andre Nicotino on this album. We got a record called Dope Era. Like who
This
does
nigga wanna smack.
who does fucking records with nicotine? Like that's my man though. You know what I mean? Like he one of my all the people I make records with are my favorite rappers. Like that's why I did a record fun on my last album. That's why I got Andre Nicotino on this album. That's why I got Big Mike on this album. Like you know what I mean? Like I got Roscars on the next album. Like you know what I mean? Like I like guys, so I do records with them, but I went straight hip hop on this one. Like I was almost like, I don't know if they gonna like, you know what I mean? Because I
Mm-hmm.
went so kind of I said some, I be kind of reckless with my mouth sometimes, but I'm not scared of nobody, so that's why I do it.
Yeah.
But I talk reckless, I
Talk that shit.
mean, I got a record called "Go on My," where I ended that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I keep telling y'all to renew the GOAT conversation. I got a
Mm.
question. Bambaataa still in Zulu Nation?
Mm.
I don't be playing with them, man. I gotta go. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's why I feel. My point is, this is where I feel rap always was. Like, it was not only something to make you happy, but a lot of times rap music, whether it was us in the park or on record, was something that made you uncomfortable too.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like some of that discomfort is missing because of my peers not rapping. Because Key
Mm.
Glock and Young Dolph ain't gonna make you uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not their point. Like that's not why they do what they do. Like they don't do it to make you uncomfortable. So Gucci's not gonna make you uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're not gonna make you uncomfortable. They make records, the kind of records that they make, which is kind of almost damn near every record is a party record, especially if you're in the strip club, they all party records. You know what I mean? Like that's what they make. They're not gonna make you uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But us, we know how to do that, and that's why I feel like there's a missing point because some music should make you uncomfortable.
Facts. Yo, do you watch the verses? Swiss
Oh
Beats?
yeah, I do. Yeah.
If Stetsasonic is going against somebody, who are we
Um,
going against to say, you know what, this is gonna
I
be
thought
major
about I
entertaining?
thought about that, right? I thought about that, right? So there's
Shabby's
probably
hype right
two.
now.
I wouldn't do Step Public Enemy because I think Public Enemy probably had more like bigger records, so it almost wouldn't make sense.
Uh,
You could do Stetsasonic in the Roots, though. You could
mm,
do band against band because honestly, that's 10 songs. I don't know if Thornton and them can hang as a group with 10 songs, not with us.
woo-hoo. Talk
Think
that shit,
about
big
where
bro.
they gonna go with it. Where they gonna where what's because you always when you do verses, right? You always got to think of what's the high point of verses, right?
Yeah.
Of course, the high point of verses for Snoop was probably um, G thing.
Yeah.
The high point for DMX,
DMX,
probably
my
some,
dope
yeah,
spot.
exactly. So you got to think what's gonna be the high point for the Roots. Like, what's your here? I ask you, what's your favorite three Roots records?
I'm gonna probably go with damn, never do what they do,
Okay,
never do, and then they got that he got that joint Black Thought where he talking that shit where old boy from The Wire had caught that
right,
body,
yeah.
and then I don't know after that.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I
trying
ain't
to
gonna
say.
hold you.
I don't know if they, when it comes down to it, because we end our shows with Sally.
Mm,
So I would end my verses with Sally.
mm-hmm.
I don't know if they got that. I don't know, but I would do it because it's band versus band. The only
Yeah,
other thing I can think about is Ultramagnetic, but Ultramagnetic might not have enough to hang. It's
I don't
got to
think they
be
got enough.
somewhere.
I don't think they got
In
enough.
it. Maybe Stetsasonic Kid and Play would be dope.
Mm.
That might be okay because I think that they might have it. They
What you
might
think,
be.
Shabby?
I think they could do it. Yeah.
I don't know about
Yeah,
that one.
No?
I like the roots. I like the roots
yeah,
better.
yeah. I mean, the Roots is definitely like a better look if they was ever to do the verses,
Mm-hmm.
just because it's band versus band, and it just gets like, I mean, especially because you see what happened with verses. Verses was dope idea, shabby sound until the Jamaicans showed them what to do.
Yeah,
And until Beanie and them came on and showed them exactly what to do, that they knew how to do this thing.
yeah.
Because the Teddy Riley babyface thing was a disaster.
Hey,
You know what I
I
mean?
said, hey.
And possibly we could possibly even say that the Primo RZA thing was a disaster.
It was
And and and
terrible.
and, and but what the roster showed them what to do. So now they putting everybody in the same space. If they put us in the same space, we would probably have both bands in there.
Mm-hmm.
And that would just be bananas
Dope,
because
super
somewhere
dope.
at the end we would start jamming and that would be stupid.
Now it's a record.
You know what I'm saying?
Your album
Yeah,
sales gonna go out the roof.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, but I would stick with that. Yeah, I would say Stetsasonic and the
Mm.
Roots.
Yo, if you can give a young artist that's coming up, you know what I'm saying, that's
Hmm.
looking at this interview and they say, you know what, I want to be in this game called
Right,
business of music. What
right.
kind of advice would you give them, Daddy O?
The one thing I would say is the learning curve should be easier, should be easier for a young person than it was for us. When I was first trying to get in this business, I was running around ragged trying to find books like This Business of Music and everything you wanted to know about the music business. And there's another book. There's just a bunch of them like that we couldn't find or was kind of out of print and all of those type of things because there was no internet, right? So nowadays, although I don't say rely on the internet, I would say yeah, use the internet to use Amazon to ship a book to your house. But
Mm-hmm.
I would say utilize this kind of open internet form, kind of use that. Like look at, just look at the business. I said this years ago, and I think it still stands. I used to say, somebody wants to learn how to be a carpenter, they learn all about wood. They learn you can't put cork in water and you can't really nail cork and you need this certain kind of wood splits. And somebody wants to become a welder, they learn all about metals. They're not going to use aluminum for nothing, you know what I mean? And if you need to use steel or whatever, iron, or however that works out. The music, man, I used to say this years ago, the music business is probably one of the few businesses that you see people try to get in and they don't try to learn anything about it. They just think they could jump in, you
Yeah.
know. Some people kind of get lucky and things happen, but for the most part, people kind of go out the window. So I would say the studying it all, kind of look around, not just your favorite artists. I think in particularly for rap, and people are gonna do rap, to try to study other genres of music and see, kind of see what the country folks is doing, it see what some of the rock and roll folks is doing, go to some of that offshoot stuff, see what the bluegrass people are doing, because a lot of times there's a lot of parallels, that happen, and you can learn how to do things, and then again, something I say in my lectures all the time is, look for the space that's not there, meaning you're going to create something that none of us ever saw. You're
Mm.
going to something that none of us ever did, and kind of keep your mind open. And that's what makes hip hop so great. That's what made hip hop so great. That's why hip hop is still doing things now. Is because when people think about stuff, everybody's not copying. Somebody's sitting there thinking, "I'm going to do this," and nobody else did it,
Mm.
and do it, and it works. And so it kind of pushes the envelope a little further. Think about it. Jay-Z made a record years ago called The Death of Auto Tune. People was like, "Oh man, I'm glad he made that record, The Death of Auto Tune." Hello, Young Thug. Hello, Future. Like, you know what I mean? Like they took it to another level. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Where now it's not it's not corny to do it, because it's not like they singers trying to make their voice in key. They
Mm-hmm.
doing it another kind of way, and that was a whole new thing to do. And I think these young people come up with new stuff all the time, and I enjoy it. You know what I mean? So I think that space that's not there, but just study. I mean, it's so much easier to learn the the bells and whistles, the nuts and bolts of the business nowadays than it was for me when I started. And so I would say try to like study it first before you even think about kind of getting equipment and spitting on the mic, or getting equipment and shooting your own video. Like study it first, kind of set yourself out with a plan, because that's the thing that works too, because you'll know what you want to do with the money when it comes in. One of the
Mm.
hardest things to digest for my generation, us I call it true school, is that a bunch of us just didn't save money. You know what I mean? We didn't think about it that way. We kind of thought whatever we doing gonna last forever. And
Mm.
tell people this. I have a metaphor that I say, listen, if Gladys Knight ain't on the radio, then that means at some point you're not going to be in it. Because Gladys defied all odds everywhere. She had pop
Mm-hmm.
records. She wasn't even trying to make them shits. And that's
Mm-hmm.
just real. She making some down home Georgia music, and that shit goes number one.
Dope.
You know what I'm saying? So, but she's off the radio. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And ain't nothing wrong with her voice right now. You know what I mean? So if Gladys could not be on the radio, everybody's gonna have this cycle. And so I think it's important to set a plan up before you even go into it. So that way you kind of know what you're gonna do, set up your little LLC, business account for your royalties, like all types of little things that you can learn. And all that stuff is available, man. It's just
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times people just want to be famous. Most people want to be famous more than they want the money,
Facts.
you know?
Yo, daddy, yo,
So
I ain't gonna hold you, man.
yes, sir.
You could have been many places, but you chose to chill in the barbershop tonight, son. And we like to thank you for your time
Oh, no
and
problem, my brother.
for
I
your
mean, I
energy.
enjoyed this, man. I always enjoy it, man, because I feel like it just pushes the level a little further. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Know what I'm saying? Like if we could, it might be thousands, because I mean between live broadcasts and reposting and stuff, thousands of people see your stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
man, we could correct one or two of these young folks and get them in the right way, and it could be dope, man. You know what I'm saying? It could really be dope. Cause I still got this super duper hope for hip hop. Like I know people deny it. People say, oh, it's all drugs, it's all guns, you fucking dregs. Like I know they are on us like
Mm-hmm.
hard. I have a hope for hip hop, and I think there's a room for everything. It's just that we don't see enough size of it. I wouldn't eliminate anything. I would just add.
Mm-hmm.
Let the voters talk about the gun. Let everybody do what they do. Just add to it and have more people talking about different things, and then that will balance it out. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Because we're never gonna be just one thing, and that's one thing that people don't understand about hip hop, especially people my age. People
Facts.
my age that are fans. Oh, I like hip hop when it's positive. I'm like, I got a fucking tape from 1978 with Busy B saying all the cocaine slaughters. Everybody say blow. What are you talking about? Like all positive. Like we never was all positive. We wasn't just
Facts.
Public Enemy. We was Public Enemy and Eric B. and Rakim. Like,
Oh
you know what I
yeah.
mean? All of that. So I just think that there needs to be a little balance going on. And I think that that's gonna come from more people making because this bro, trust this. You might be doing this and you might not even understand people that don't have passion. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You because you're a passionate person, you want. But trust me, man. So many people that they have a passion for this, but they so afraid to do things. I talk to people every day. I talk to a girl that has an incredible catalog, but because the music business wasn't going so great, she went back, got a master's in education and everything. She got a PhD in education. She's doing it, and now she called me and said, "Look, I want to do my passion." I
Mm-hmm.
talked to a guy the other day, just yesterday on Twitter, because I did this record with this group called Weird Science. It's kind of like a rock record or whatever. I did this group called this record with them called Well Made Swine. The guy tweeted at us, "Yo, can I shoot your video and all of that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I think that's dope." And I start texting the dude, and he told me I was in corporate for 25 years, but now I'm just trying to live my passion. He literally lives in North Carolina, was ready to drive to Houston just to shoot. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
so you know, we got to bring some of those people back to their passion.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them great records that you and I are listen, want to hear next.
Mm-hmm.
Them, it ain't on the people in the charts. It's in them
Yeah.
that's stuck behind the damn telebooth and the damn bank.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we got to bring some of them people out of their passion, man. So I always enjoy forums like this because they get a little bit. I know I'm gonna talk a little bit about history, but then they might just get inspired, and that's my point. Like they might just get inspired, and that's what I think it's all about.
Hey, yo, big bro. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yes, sir.
They say around here, around this live at the barbershop thing.
Yep,
You feel
yep.
me, Daddy-O?
Yeah, yeah.
They say if you build a tight foundation, your roof won't collapse.
That's the truth. That's
Oh
the
yeah.
truth, brother. That's the truth.
Yo, can we get a drop or two from Stetsasonic, Whoop de Whoop, live at the barbershop?
Yep. You know what? And I'm gonna get the guy. I'll get the guys to send y'all some too. 'Cause we all in different. I would love to do it with them, but yo, peace. This is Daddy-O from the legendary Stetsasonic, East New York, Brooklyn. You know how we do, and we live at the barbershop. Watch it. We might cut you a different way, so watch yourself.
Watch yourself.
Oh yeah. Yo, can we get one for DJ Shavi when he do his ones and twos?
Oh yeah. Peace. This is Daddy-O from Stetsasonic, and you listening to DJ Shavi. Tuck your chain with this next record he gonna play.
Yes, sir.
Whoop whoop.
Crit.
Bow. Yo, big bro, we appreciate your time. We appreciate
anytime.
everything.
Yo, when I get up top, man, I'll let you know. I'm probably gonna be coming up sometime. I'm trying to get up there sometime before the end of the year because I got some things to shoot. Because one thing COVID has done for me, man, that's negative is I'm always leading with videos, and I always got a bunch of video material. I haven't been able to shoot nothing. So I got something I got to shoot up top. I did a record on my album called Guards and Dope Fiends with Rusty Juke, man, and I got this thing I want to shoot. So I'm trying to get it. So when I get up top, man, I give you a holler.
Yo, I ain't gonna hold you. Shavi is not just a DJ. This guy owns a studio. So this room where we filming in, this is a film room. But then he got a pre-production room, he got a video room, and he got like 4 studios. Talk that. One of them got a Raven.
Yeah. Now we got a nice little production company over here right now, social media house.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna send you some music, man, when we get off.
Do that, man. I'm always looking, and I'm doing a bunch of things. I got the mental health album. I think I'm done. It's like 9 tracks. I think it's good. I'm doing this other album called Duets, where I'm doing it's just me and female MCs. I got about 5 joints on that. That's kind of cool. And then I got this one out. Then I'm just working on a project. I got this idea from Chuck D, right? He said, do the album cover first. So I'll be doing these. So I do the album covers. So now I'm doing a record called Hip Hop Interrupted. I got another record called First Team. So I'm just working on some stuff. So I'm always doing. Plus, I'm always running into people that need music too. So.
No, that's fire. That's fire.
Yeah.
I'm excited to work, man. We definitely gonna get up.
Yep. So y'all got my email, man. Just hit me up, and then I'll send you back like my number and all that.
All right, copy.
Yo, Shavi about to get into a mix of Stetsasonic. So we about to get this whole shit shaking. And I'm about to refill my cup. Y'all know what it is.
That nigga do not need to he do not need to refill that.
Hey.
Jeez.
We'll talk soon, brother.
We love you, bro. Thank you for your time.
Right,
you already know what it is. Live at the
Love
barbershop.
man.
All right. Peace.
What's good? You rocking with DJ Shavi live at the barbershop. Rock with me. Social media house. What's good?
DJ Shavi in the mix.
Rockin' these DJ Shavi, we live, let's go.
Here's how it started. Heard you on the radio, talk about rap, saying all that crap about how we sample. Give an example.
Think we'll let you get away with that? You criticize our method, or how we make records. You said it wasn't art, so now we're gonna rip you apart.
Check it out, my man. This is the music of a hip-hop band. Jazz, well you can call it that.
But this jazz retains a new format.
Point. When you misjudge.
Rockin' me, DJ Shavi. Daddy-O was good. Daddy-O was good.
The same mistake politicians had.
Talking all that jazz.
Get him, Shavi.
Rockin' me, DJ Shavi. You already know what this is. You already know what it is. Live at the barbershop. Social media house. What's good?
Dynamite is in the atmosphere. If there's a time and place for everything that's under the sun, this is the time and the place that we have some fun. Now take
Rock with me, DJ Shabby. You already know. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh Lord. Straight to the letter with a hip hop band of America, London, and even Japan. And you surely will admit.
You rocking with me, money? You rocking with me?
DJ Shabby in the building. I know what it is. Live at the barbershop. Oh yeah.
The rhythm board is definitely ringing. The beats and rhymes on a chord that are tingling. So grab your girl, let's start the jam.
Get him, Shabby. Get him, Shabby.
I got a girl named Sally,
And she don't squall or eat with a spoon or fork.
DJ Shabby in the mix.
Rock with me, live at the barbershop. Social media house, DJ Shabby. Man, what's good? JT, what up?
DJ Shabby in the mix.
Why you play Sally? Why you play Sally?
This story's funny. I met this girl and she had money in vast abundance. Goo-goo gums, I mean redundant. Her eyes were hazel, her dress was suede, her voice was nasal. I found her so fly, but for the life of me, I didn't know why.
Don't like the way that Now here's what took place. We threw this jam, she rented the space. Nice place to party.
DJ Shabby in the mix.
It's so confusing. And sometimes I say it's amusing. The jam was okay till Sally walked in, 'cause just like I say, people don't like the way Sally walk.
Deep in the heart of the matter, the self-destruction is served on the platter.
DJ Shabby in the mix.
So they fell for the bait. That makes them a victim. Pick them plump new jacket gels, but the vest never dropped.
Rock with me, DJ Shabby. Daddy-O, what's good? Daddy-O, what up?
They never took the time to wonder about self-destruction.
DJ Shabby in the mix.
Rock with me, DJ Shabby. We live at the barbershop. Man, what's good?
Yo, how they say it? God.